going to see. It should automatic. We should be starting up automatically now. Okay. Just wait here. Mm-hmm. All right. So just kind of waiting here till we get started up. Okay. It might be. There we go. All right. Excellent. Let me just turn this down. Okay. Well, hey, everybody. If somehow, for some reason, you're up at this insane time of the evening or evening, I mean, like, I don't know, it's probably midnight or past that in most of the country. So it's 10:30 here in San Gabriel, right here in beautiful SoCal. What a crazy day, man. I mean, a lot of stuff going on, right? But yeah, wow, my heart is really heavy right now with a lot of stuff that's going on over in Israel. It's been a crazy, crazy day of just hearing all that news that's coming out of there. But I had this idea to do this tonight, and I'm like, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to get my mind off things for a moment and do a late night stream. Um, hey, wow, hey Sly, what's happening? So Sly, I'll just tell you a little bit about what I'm doing right now. Right when I was talking to you last night about the stream setup that I was doing, this is actually what I'm testing right now. Okay, and I don't have a top view, so I can't really show you what I'm doing. But it is as about it. This is about as professional a mobile stream that you can create, and I'm creating a little kit where I can just take this wherever I go. To be a virtual, to do virtual therapy. And so right now, I am using a couple of things. I'm using the new Rode X. Okay, that little tiny Rode X streamer that acts as a capture card, and it also acts as also as a preamp, right? You can plug your mics right into there. It has one XLR input, and it's really powerful, by the way. I can put my SM7B in there, and it powers it up without any cloud lifter or anything like that. So it is. And now here's the kicker, though, right? This is why I got this set up, because I can use my iPad. With new iOS 17, I can use my iPad. Now, I don't have the luxury of doing the. I don't have the Ecamm switcher. Ecamm obviously doesn't have an app. Oh, I wish they did. That would just be killer. But I'm using the next best thing, the only streaming app that you can use with the iPad, with the Rode X, is Camo Studio. And I'll show you. I'm going to switch between some scenes here. You can add two cameras on each of these scenes. You can always have two cameras. You can. I have one HDMI input into the stream into the Rode X, but you can also plug in, your cam links for additional cameras if you want. You can add as many cameras as you'd like. So right now, the other reason I did this was because not only because I can do this on my iPad, but because I can use this. Because Camo Studio now allows you to use your pencil. This is another reason why it's good for me, right? Because I do a lot of writing. So, for instance, I'm going to switch to another scene. Okay, here we go. This is another scene. Now, in this scene, of course, I can do some writing. So I'm going to click on the Camo Studio pencil, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and I can start writing. And of course, I've inserted a video background, which I love. I love the video backgrounds that you can add in here. And by the way, Sly, what are you doing up right now? If you're still up, what are you doing up right now? You're amazing. I think you guys went really late last night, right? I saw you for a few minutes. Everybody was just chatting away. I saw Peter had like, I don't know, 8 to 10 people on the screen at one time. So you guys were all. He was inviting everybody, wasn't he? He was having a ball, right? He was having a ball. But here's the idea. For instance, I'm going to go ahead and write. Let me see. Best chat. No, that's. Let me see. Is this going to work? I'm doing some different things in here too. But anyway, I'm just going to stick around with what I want to show you. Okay. If anybody's watching, check this out. This is for some of you. This is going to be really valuable. But here I can talk about. let's talk about this. This is going to be capturing our thoughts. Now, as you can see, I'm writing. I'm writing with my pencil, and it's writing right on the iPad, and I love it. I think it's so cool. For like I said, for me, it makes a huge difference because I'm not just overlaying with text. Okay, I'm not overlaying with text. I'm actually, um, and I can clear this immediately. By the way, I can just hit clear, and it'll clear all this out. Right? Look at this. Boom, clear, done, erased immediately. This is why I am loving it. Um, oh yeah, you're practicing. What do you mean you're practicing for Friday though? What is that about? What do you mean? What's happening Friday? What's going on? Did I miss something, or are you talking about something special, something different? Um, Here's another scene right here. This is just a regular right here where I don't have a box next to me. Instead, I can just write right into the video background. So I can talk about you know, um, like I don't know what is it. Let's see. Here, I'm going to go ahead and pencil again. We're going to start writing, and so I'm going to talk about unhealthy thinking styles. And as I'm writing this, um, again, it's just I can select, I can erase it, I can do highlight. Let's look. I can highlight. I can highlight that like that. Everything. It incorporates pencil. It's just amazing to me. It's mind-boggling what you can do with this now. Pencil, pen, just about anything you want to do, you can do with this now because it incorporates a pencil. And this is what I was talking about last night, Sly. This makes a lot of sense to me. I can add again. I can add as many cameras as I want to this, so I can add a camera up here if I want to look down, which I'll probably do at some point. But I'm loving this, man. I mean, this turns once the iOS 17 came out and it allowed you to. I'm going to go ahead and let's go back. Okay. And by the way, let's hit this. I'm going to hit clear. Then I'm going to go ahead and go back to my main scene. Boom. There's my main scene. Very cool, huh? Once the iOS 17 allowed you to input HDMI, I was like, okay, this is going to be a game changer, and it really is for at least for me because. But I got on Zoom right away. Zoom doesn't recognize the external camera yet. A lot of FaceTime recognizes it immediately. So if you want to do FaceTime, your new iOS 17 is going to recognize external cameras right into the USB-C. Okay, right into the USB-C. Oh, that's right. It is Peter's. That's right. That's right. That's right. Oh, wow. Okay, so let me read real quick. Oh, by the way, I'm still figuring out how to put because I'm pretty sure that I can put the comments on the screen. I just haven't kind of figured all that out yet. But I'm reading what you just said. Oh, I totally forgot about that. It's his 70th. So you tried to get a bunch of people to fly to Miami for it, right? But that didn't work. So this is the next best thing. Yeah, that's awesome. So I have to, I guess, can I pop in? Is that possible? Let me know if that's possible. If I can plug into that too, I would love to pop in and just say hi to him. Or if you guys already have like a certain number of people that you've already got on. That is so cool, Sly. Yeah, it is the next best thing, right? I mean, really maximize. The other thing that I can't do on this Camo Studio, of course, you can record. Obviously, you can record video and do all that. You can add video, you can add overlay, you can do anything you want. And you can also live stream, which I'm doing right now. But you can't. It's not it doesn't have the powerful tool of interview mode. Of course, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. So good, Sly. I'll definitely do that. I'll make sure I schedule clients early on Friday because I definitely want to be there for him. What a man. I don't know how he does it. I mean, Sly, you know him better than I do, much better than I do. But I've just always been really, as long as I've known him, for the last few years, um, I've just his energy and his attitude. His probably attitude first, energy second. You know, I so appreciate his attitude. Um, he's I know he's got issues like everybody does, right? We all have issues. I know he does, but there's something about I think his half, his you know glass half full attitude. I think he's a good example of that. I think where yeah, he's gone through a lot as we know, right? But he just continues to have a good attitude about it, and about all that's happened. And obviously, he gets so much energy out of us, right? Doesn't he? He gets so much energy out of other people. In fact, I'm going to go here, and as I'm talking, I'm just going to go back here, and I'm going to be like, so one thing that Peter's, let's just go, his inspiration, because that's really what it is. He inspires in a lot of different ways. So here's what I would say. I think it's his attitude, like I said. I think it's his energy. He's got a lot of really positive energy, right? I think this is another thing too. This is probably actually number one, right? Number one, it's going to be his faith. So let me capitalize that, because this is really number one, right? His faith. Got a really strong faith, doesn't he? And the thing I love about Peter is he doesn't, he doesn't cram, his faith, onto others, right? He just doesn't do that. Oops, others. Okay, so I can double click my pencil. I just double click it again, and I can keep writing. And yeah, onto others. He doesn't do that, which is so cool. Peter, he has such an interesting way of kind of confronting you, but in a loving way. I almost kind of want to say it. There's loving correction with Peter, because he is just such a compassionate person. Peter's the kind of person that makes you feel like important, right? When you talk with him, you feel important. So that's why I so appreciate his person, who he is. So that's so cool that you guys are celebrating that guy, and I'm happy to be a part of that too. So here we go. As soon as I'm done with this, I can hit clear. Done. Again, I can then again just go straight back to. Let's just go back to there again. Go back to my main screen. These are overlays that I made in Canva, imported them directly into Camo Studio. And again, everything is hooked in to my iPad. I am just so loving this because I can just go anywhere and everywhere. There's a hub, a USB-C hub that I've got connected into the iPad, and then everything gets connected into that hub, including the power. Oh wow, I'm dark. You can't see me anymore because my light just went out. Kya, can you turn the lights on? You can hear me, but you can't see me. You can hear me, but you can't see me. Can you turn that one on too over there? My light went out. Oh my gosh. So I'm trying my light. Oh, this is horrible, but this will have to do. You know what I'm going to do? No, you can leave it on. I'm going to turn up my ISO. Here, let me turn this up a little bit, even though it's going to look horrible. Turn that up. Okay. Thank goodness. And by the way, Sly, I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, I'll tell you this. I'm on my M6 Mark II. I just turned that up to 400 ISO. I'm at 1.4, so it's bringing that light. But, this is what you got to do sometimes, right? So my main lamp, which I have connected to the table, it's a really awesome Godox ML60 handheld lamp, and I've got the egg crate that's put on it, and it's amazing. It's awesome. But that went out because I have batteries. I have it on batteries because I'm trying to do everything battery. So nothing's connected into the wall. Everything's connected into a power station. Again, everything I want to be able to last. I just forgot to plug that into the power station. That's on battery. Um, so anyway, so cool to be able to test this out, and it's working great. And by the way, I'm hardwired right now with my internet. As you can see, I'm not streaming at 4K. I'm streaming um, about 2K right now is what I'm going to start doing. But I have this Ethernet plugged into my hub, so my internet is going in pretty fast, as fast as it can go into my iPad. We have really slow internet here in California. I mean, ridiculous. I think we have like the fastest we get, I think, is like 900 down and like 30 up. And I know Peter has 1,000 down, 1,000 up. I don't know how in the world that's possible, but we don't get that here. We do not get it here. Sly, we've had some very interesting debates about what we each believe. Yes, exactly. Um, yes. It's, yeah, I think, I mean, Peter's had some just, as you know, I mean, there are times where he just like decides, yeah, I'm going to preach today, and he just kills it. I mean, he just goes on for hours and hours, right? The thing I just do appreciate about him, though, is again, I don't sense, I don't get, I don't think Peter doesn't proselytize as far as I can tell, and so that's why I so appreciate him, and I think that's why so many people of different beliefs are in his group, because I'm sure that there are people who believe different things and in his group, but it's okay. We're all in there together, right, Sly? We're all in there together. Um, yeah. So what is the deal? So you have really slow internet too. Man, it's such a bummer. You pay so much money. I can't believe how much money I pay for just my work internet is the fastest I can get it at my office, at my counseling office. And that right there is like 900 down again, which I don't need. Who needs down, right? But I have about 50 up, and I usually get around 30 up, which is fine, which is great, right? But 1,000 up? What planet where do you, I don't know how you get that, but that's what Peter has, right? So it's just amazing. So you've got really slow stuff too, Sly. I don't understand it. I really don't. Hey, again, if you're still there, your bag stuff is so cool. Got you got to help me with a bag now. Now that I'm putting all this together, I just got these little cheapy bags, and you probably have a much better idea. But I need bags. I don't even know what this is. It's like a Core Flex bag. It's just a little cheapy flag that I got off of Amazon, and it's a utility pouch is what it is, and I got they're in different colors. But I need some really good pouches to be able to put all of the cables in. Even the XLR cables. I need something to put all the cables in. The Streamer X is going to go in my backpack. My MS6 Mark II is going to go in my backpack. And so, and my SM7B is going to go in my backpack, all that. So, you know what I mean? So, okay. So you live in a rural community. Oh, you do? You do, Sly? Okay. My son lives in the city and gets one thing. Oh, he gets it too. What is up with that? I really don't understand why we can't get that here. I mean, I have searched high and low for, and out here, maybe it's the same with you, but we're only allowed, whoever we have in our general area, right? We can't switch out if they don't have something like I'm Spectrum, okay, and I've maxed out on Spectrum, but again, they don't offer anything more than 50 up, 900 down. So it's the up issue, right? That's our issue, right? We want up. Give us up. Who cares about down? That doesn't matter. But I just have never heard in California, northern Southern California, I've never heard of 1,000 up before in my life. So I don't know why we're taking so long to get that. You would think that here in Cali, we would be faster than everybody. We really, I think that would make sense, right? But no, that's not the deal. That's not how it rolls. Sorry for um, the yellow. I've got the warm lights on right now in my dining room. This is my dining room. I've got the warm lights on, so I'm so bright. I wish I could. This, there are limitations, of course, to the Camo Studio. I can't do a lot of adjustments to the color, but I'll take mobile over everything else because you can adjust color on the camera. I can do that there. I can, I can adjust even the white balance on the camera, and I can do that all that fairly quickly because my camera. What do I have? I have what is it? The 16 mil, Sigma lens on my M6 Mark II. So it's right here. I can just touch it. It's less than 2 feet away from me, and I can fix things right there. So okay, the Tenba Toolbox 4. Okay, I bought the smaller one for the USB mic and all accompanying cables. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna check that, Sly, because I need I need a really nice beefy pouch. Is that a beefy pouch? Is it pretty? It sounds like, I think it's probably a good beefy pouch. I mean, if you're using it, it must be pretty awesome. Your reviews on your bags, your bag reviews are good. They're so good. You're getting, that niche is getting better and better. You're doing them great. So, um, and now, I'm as I'm now trying out this new gear. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a kit. I'm going to build it in a box and something I can carry with me just about anywhere. The Even the lamps, the lamp I have, the ML60 Godox, it's actually a handheld lamp. Uh, but I don't use them. I use them on a table stand, that clamps down, and I have that put on the table stand, and they work amazing because you don't need anything more powerful than that, But you can also, again, they're kind of used for handheld, to put on cameras. So it does. All right. So that's what I need, right? It fits into your backpack really well. I'm just going to go with the flow, right? The photography, angle didn't work. The bag thing seems to be taken. Yeah, it does. Does. And I guess, okay, yeah, so yeah, Sly, I haven't known you that long, so I didn't realize that the photography thing, you were doing that. But you seem to be like really laying into the bags. I mean, you're committed. It looks like to me, at least, you know, I see you're posting pretty often, and you're obviously looking at bags, searching bags, doing your homework, right? Um, so yeah, you can tell you're getting into a groove there, right? Whenever creators start really getting comfortable, at least my experience, whenever they start getting comfortable, you can see it. It's like they're kind of reviewing the same things but in different ways. That's why I think people who do, by the way, I think Peter should, I don't know if you've noticed this, Sly, but sometimes he goes off on breaking down certain things about a camera, and I'm like, that should be behind a paywall. I really do think so, because sometimes he just gives it all away. He gives, and that's great. That's great, right? But I also think that if he's so good at all of that. I think that he would be, I would want to watch that. I would pay to get some teaching from the almighty Peter Craig. I would. Just teach me about ISO. Just teach me about aperture. Just teach me about the basics, right? But him teaching it, I think it's very different and very unique. Spending way too much money on packs, but I really feel driven to do this. You do, Sly? You feel really driven. That's an interesting comment. Why do you think you feel really driven to do it? That's what I guess I'm wondering. Because it's pretty clear you seem driven. Now that you say that, yeah, I can see it, right? Because of just, I don't know. I want to just say um, how excited you are in talking about all of those things, the features and all the ways that you're using them. It's like you can hear that, but I'm curious about the drive. Why do you feel driven to do that? And did you feel the same way about cameras? I'm wondering. I couldn't do cameras. I just couldn't do them. I can't do. You know what? Here's the thing, Sly. You may connect with what I'm going to say, but here, if a while back, I was thinking about reviewing some of the things that I like myself, right? Things that I almost like hobbies, and here's one of them: Etsy products. I spend so much time and money on really cool hand, you know, um, created custom gadgets, not gadgets, but things. Like, for instance, um, like I love this guy on Etsy who creates these really cool lamps, right? But these lamps are basically, he, um, oh my gosh, I wish I could share if I knew how to use this right now. I could probably share a screen with you, but uh, he basically creates really interesting lamps from different kinds of pipe configurations. And I love those kinds of things, right? Because they're handcrafts and they're so unique. And they have USB plugs in them. Some of them have the slider for the light. Um, they're really interesting. The base he makes them out of wood, and he creates these really interesting designs with different kinds of pipes, copper piping. And I always thought I would that if I was going to review anything, I'm not kidding you. Those are the kinds of things I'd love to review because they're so unique. They're not mass, manufactured. They're one-offs. They're all very different, but also just they're so unique. And I think that's what I love about Etsy is, man, everything I've gotten there. I just got some acoustic wall panels for my office, and I'm gonna show those later on after I'm done. But I got this guy on Etsy who makes acoustic wall panels, and they're about 4 inches thick, and they're unbelievable. They're beautiful. They're like burnt orange, the ones that I picked, and I love them. But there's so many things. If you look at all the iPhone and iPad, accessories that you can buy on Etsy that are handmade, that's the stuff I would love to review. The different kinds of holders and the different kinds of. There's a guy that I love who makes me leather cases for my iPhones, and they're just beautiful. The way that he sews them, the smell of the leather, the kind of leather, it's amazing. Just so cool. Photography market is slowly dying over to videography. Is it? You think so? I mean, you've been probably much more plugged into this than I have for a long time. Um, yeah. So Peter isn't he? He's firmly established in it. Yeah. So he's safe, but there are very few newcomers. I agree. Cameras are giving way to cell phones. Yeah, they are, aren't they? I have an editor, a friend of mine who's an editor. So Etsy is my addiction. It really is. I mean, you see people on Etsy who make the most incredible products. I mean, I just got a incredible microphone, stand, custom made microphone stand that I'm going to be, putting up here pretty soon. And it's a one-off. These are one-off products. So love unique products on my table. Everything in my office is like Etsy. Everything is from somebody who handcrafted it out of something, you know. And I love it. Even I got a table. This guy makes really cool wood tables. He's with a lot of the, you know, um, a lot of the little, what do you call it, still in the wood, right? I mean, I just love the natural, all that natural kind of stuff. It's very cool. You love Etsy too. You've had some good experiences. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a bad experience on an Etsy, and I bought a lot of stuff. I just don't really go outside of America. You know what? I will go as far as Canada. There's some really good people up in Canada. I think I may have bought one thing out of the country, and I wasn't really happy with it. I think it came from Thailand. It was a leather bag, but it just was too strong in the way. I think that they they must have, whatever it is they used on the bag, to whatever oils they used on the bag was really strong, or whatever they did with the bag, it was just too strong, and the odor never went away. So, but I usually buy everything American, handmade from America or Canada. And I've never had a bad deal. I mean, man, I've gotten, I cannot believe when I think right now, the really fun stuff is if you get on Etsy, you'll find that the people on there make accessories, holders, they make not bags. I'm sure they make bags. They make a lot of bags but I'm thinking specifically for the gadget market, like our stuff. You can find different kinds of accessories for cameras, phones, everything, and people will make really cool stuff like boxes for the gear, things like that. Like if you get on Etsy, you'll find something for the Rode X or for the Rode podcast, the podcaster. Somebody on Etsy will make a really cool box to fit that in. That's the kind of stuff I love. I just dig on all that. Not really anything electronics, obviously, right? Etsy doesn't have that kind of stuff, but they have everything else. They have all the accessories. I just love it. Peter, not sure me, but the volume is a little low. Okay, so I see the meter is hitting the yellow. Okay, so this is the problem with the Rode X, okay? Thanks for letting me know, Peter. Welcome. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. The problem with the Rode X is that you can't see the meter. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on a second. How is that? I'm going to turn my mic. There we go. How is that, you guys? I'm looking at my Camo Studio, and my volume on the Camo Studio was really low. So tell me if that's any better. Does that sound better? It should sound better. Okay. Sly, the vast majority of people, they don't appreciate. Yeah, that's true, right? They don't appreciate uniqueness. You're so right. You're so right. Everybody just wants to get the same old thing that everybody else gets, but I don't like that. I want to have a one-off. I want to have something unique in my hand. I love that, and certainly don't want to pay for it. That's true. That's really true. I'd rather have a one of a kind and pay a little extra. I totally, completely agree. Peter, Meg, Peter says hi. Peter says hi. Yep. Yep. Meg says hi, Peter. And by the way, as you can see, Peter, my lighting is bad because my lamp went out. Okay, otherwise my lighting looks pretty good actually. But my Godox lamp was on batteries; it went out, so I turned on my lights, these very warm lights in my dining room, and I turned up my ISO. So I'm bear with the color. I know it's not incredible like your room usually is, but my lamp decided to die on me. So, yep. Yeah, I know, right? Sly, I think your ears must have been burning, Peter, because Sly was talking smack about you, man. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't mean to throw you under the bus, Sly, but, she was, and maybe you're used to that. I don't know, Peter, but Peter, Sly was talking some smack about you. Good. Thanks, Sly. I'm glad it sounds better. Yeah, I'm seeing now let me go up a little bit more. Yeah. Because the Camo Studio does have, it does show me my levels, and I didn't know that was so low before. Just make sure. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yep, we were. I can hear you now. Okay. What else did you say, Peter? And by the way, I'm going to learn how to bring in these comments into Camo Studio. I don't know how to do that yet, but I'm going to bring that in. They say right before you go, you can't hear anything. That's right. That's totally right. I mean, I think I remember doing a stream. I don't know when it was. It was a year or so ago, Peter, right? And I remember I think you texted me maybe, and you're like, you can't hear anything. And I was on for, I can't remember how long I was streaming. And I'm sure that's never happened to you, right? Where I didn't have any audio, but I didn't check it. I didn't check it. So the other thing about this setup is you can't use crisp audio or anything like that because there isn't an app that you can do that with in the iPad. There used to be, and I can't remember the name of it. There used to be an app, but it went away. And now there is nothing that you can get to use like you can on Mac OS, because crisp audio is amazing. Oh my gosh, it's incredible, right? So you're gonna have to make sure that wherever you're streaming from, you've got pretty good acoustics, obviously. Yep, was getting worried. I love the board with your logo. Thanks, Sly. Thank you for that. Yeah, I just this. I thought this was a kind of a cool thing just to create in, like I said, in Canva. Let me go back here again, Peter. This is kind of a slide where I was talking about, I was writing some stuff about you actually, and this is the thing I was telling you about. This is why I've got the Camo Studio on the iPad, because I can write stuff like this. I can write right onto the iPad. And as we've talked, our I'm just going to write here they are right. They're super helpful to what? For, just like what? A positive outlook, right? And I'm just writing messy right now so there you go. And that's what I love about this. I was talking to Sly about this, and what's beautiful is that I can use the iPad because Camo Studio's incorporated the pencil. They've incorporated the pencil into this, so I just love it. And you can write on anything everywhere. I can even write on my face right here if I want to. I don't know. What if I let's see. Oh wait, did you see that? I just moved my little. There we go. So what if I want to make this a little bit more? Look at this. Do this a little bit. I can do anything, man. You know what I've always wanted, though? I've always wanted something like this, though. I wish I can do something like this. Something like that. That's what I would really like. But I don't think I can. I've tried. So how's that look? Does that look okay? Okay, so then I can just clear this out. Boom, done. I just love this. You can draw. I mean, I wish I could draw. If I could draw, I'd be drawing all over the place right now. If I was, this would be this is going to be amazing for the animator, right? This is going to be absolutely incredible for the animator. No question. So again, I'll go back here. Yeah, I'm glad you associate me with gratefulness. What else? Oh, Peter. What? Really? I mean, on Friday nights, I just think we're all really excited about spending our time in your room. I know that everybody else, I think, has other things they could be doing, but, there is an atmosphere of joy that you bring into that room. And I think that's something that we don't get a lot. I think a lot of us are missing out on that joy. And I think we're experiencing that joy with you. And make no mistake, you're the one who is, who's activating that joy. I wouldn't be sitting there on a Friday night listening to just anybody, and I love the way you and Sly, it reminds me of when I was a little kid. Maybe you guys remember this duo. I don't know. By the way, Sly, I just saw you posted, he just celebrated his 30th. Oh, wow. Happy birthday to him. But it put him into a funk. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I told him to write a list of all the things he didn't like about his life and make a 5-year goal to change things. So cool, Sly. I love that. Here's something else, too, that I think is really cool. Whenever we kind of get into a stupor, into a funk, whenever we're in one of these, I'll just write this here. Whenever we're in a funk, what word is really important? It's this word right here. And also, this word is the word we usually use. We usually use this word, but you know what? We're going to get rid of that word. And also is the word to use. So it's like, how about like this? You know what? I'm 30. The key is, and also what? And you can list a whole bunch of things out here. And also, you know, I don't know, Sly, give me some and alsos that we can put in here. Because one, what we're talking about here is for your son, it may be kind of a painful reality, an uncomfortable truth that he's 30, right? That's real. It's real. He feels that way. He feels like he's in a funk, so it's real. So we don't want to invalidate how he feels about being 30, but we want to connect him with the and alsos. And we want to connect him with a lot of and alsos because there's a whole bunch of and alsos that then put his 30 into perspective, right? You know, and also, you know, for instance, I'm just going to put this out there, great mom, right? Just one. It's just one. And also I have a great mom, and you can just keep going and other things in his life that he has, you know, you know, I mean, you can go on down the road to things like, of course, health and all that, but there are probably friends that are and alsos, you know, but and also is so cool because you can keep going on and on and on and on with remember, and alsos are also as they're also as legitimate as I'm feeling funky about turning 30, right? It's just when we're in a funk, we tend to discount or invalidate the and alsos. We don't really think about the and alsos. So the key is to make a list of your and alsos. And so to kind of tilt the scale from the funk of being at 30, as we start connected with the and alsos, and the and alsos is another way of connecting with gratitudes, right? It's another way of connecting with gratitude. You're just thinking of, the and also the ways that he is enjoying his life, the things that he has accomplished too. There has to be some, and also, I, I have, a, look at that. That is so bad. So I'm going to double click, do that. I have, accomplished whatever it is. And whatever is accomplished is good. The funk may tell you haven't accomplished enough. But when you look at the end also, actually there are things that you have accomplished. And they may not be all that you want to accomplish, but it's the end also is so much better than the but, because the but, as you know, invalidates everything, right? Invalidates everything before that. So and alsos are really, really powerful because sometimes I have couples do that with each other. Instead of saying but when they're communicating, because that turns the other person off. How about and also? Because again, they're both true. They're both true. It just helps really put things into perspective. My 20s is all about me. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you know what? They were about me too. I created a lot of issues in my 20s. Oh man, my 20s were rough because it was all about me too, Sly. My 30s were all about others. Okay. Wow. Okay, Sly. Yeah, it's interesting. I really kind of hit a bottom in my life at 29, 30. At about 30, I hit a bottom. My life was really messy. And I started getting some help. Honestly, I did, because I just had some seriously unresolved stuff in my life, big stuff from my childhood that was causing major problems in my relationship. So, and that was really helpful, to deal with that stuff. But my 20s, oh man, you're right. They were all about you. I think that's a lot of times the case, isn't it? I mean, I'm trying to think of people that I know in their 20s who really killed it, who just did really awesome. It's part of our stages of development, I think. We kind of have to grow out of our, um, we have to, our underdeveloped parts have to grow, and sometimes our underdeveloped parts take a little bit longer, to grow than other things. So, let me see what. Oops, go back here. I think I see you saying, are you having trouble writing on this on the white pad? It looks so much easier. It doesn't look that easy for. No, it's. I think what it's super easy on this, Peter. I think what you're not seeing is you're not seeing it flow as easy on this. I don't really care about that. I care about being able to write directly onto the iPad. I'm writing on the overlay, and it's no trouble at all. I wish I could show you. I don't have a camera that's kind of showing this yet, but I'm gonna put this together so I can show you actually what I'm doing. But I'm looking directly down at my iPad right now. That has where I can see myself streaming. Okay, so my Camo Studio is open, and I'm looking at it, and I'm writing on it, and I'm also streaming right through my iPad. Everything is going right through there. I don't know if you were here earlier for me to tell you what I was doing, but I am not using anything else right now other than my iPad to stream, and everything is going through there. My camera, my M6 Mark II, is going into my Rode Axe, into HDMI. My SM7B with no cloud lifter is going into the Rode Axe, which has an incredible preamp. I can go a lot louder than this if I wanted to, right? So it's changing everything. It's amazing. I'm so happy with it. But I'm really excited about this, as you can see. I just can't wait till Zoom incorporates it. That's what I'm really waiting for. Zoom hasn't incorporated, their software yet to be able to recognize, your external camera yet. But they're going to, because iOS allows you to do it now, right? But the only thing that does see it is this streaming software, is Camo Studio. So I'm pumped, man. You guys, I almost plugged in last night. I saw you going so late. I was blown away by everybody that came on. And I hope, Peter, that you can, because I plugged in just for a minute, because I had to get to bed to get up early to get to some clients, early clients. And I think what I heard was it's going to be a little messy because not everybody is, has things turned off or turned down. And so there was some feedback that I heard, and some of that I'm going, wow, to have that many people on, you're going to kind of have to manage all that with everybody. So, but I know you'll do that because you're really good at it. One of the things I was telling Sly just a little bit ago is, you told me a while back, or you told us a little bit while back, that you were going to do some content. You were going to do some curriculum, right? And I really want to continue to encourage you, if you haven't built, or, been working on that, I really want to encourage you to do it, because sometimes on your streams, you go into teaching mode, right? And you go into breaking down something as simple as ISO or whatever it is, which really isn't very simple for a lot of people. But you start breaking things down, internal hardware, software, but you begin to break down a lot. Lenses. It's amazing when you talk about lenses. I love to hear you talk about lenses. And you're so familiar with so many cameras. And some stuff that you do is paywall worthy. I'm just saying, man. Okay? It just is. I mean, you have the setup to record that. And I'm just telling you, the very first guy that I started listening to was Potato Jet, and he's here in SoCal. Actually, he's here in LA, and he's a, you might have heard of him, don't know, but he also reviews cameras and all that stuff. But I took one of his courses. It was the first thing I did, and all he did was stand in front of a camera about this close right here and talked. And he didn't write stuff down. He didn't use any visual aids. He just was able to communicate effectively enough. And he was very encouraging in the way that he presented his curriculum. And there were 3 different courses that I took from him, and they were awesome. I can't believe how helpful they were to getting me to stream, because that's basically what I was listening to him for. Um, so get on that, man. Your coursework, Peter, would be amazing. And here's why I think it would be so awesome and well received. It's because of who you are. You really do teach. I think you have a unique way of communicating, is what I'm trying to say. So when you do teach and that, when you do create that coursework, I think it's going to be very, very. I think it's going to land really well with people because they're seeing this guy. They're seeing Peter Gregg, and you do have an aura. You have a way about you. I think that's very. It's very encouraging the way that you communicate. And I think just people like to listen to you, Peter. They like to listen to your voice, and they like to listen to how you communicate things. So that coursework, man, get some of that stuff. Get some of that stuff behind the paywall because I'll pay for it. I'll pay for a course for a course from Peter Gregg. I will. So do it. You know what I mean? I think it's good stuff. Yep, I got it, Sly. Been trying to get Peter to make a course for forever, 2 years. I do think so too, Sly. I think it would be really well received. So I'm going to just go here, go back here, and just say, it would be like, it's kind of like, I don't know, Peter Gregg, University. Peter Gregg University. This is what we need. Get on it, Peter. Okay? So you can talk about all the stuff that, again, basic stuff. I think you could teach the basics. Then you can teach intermediate, and you can teach experienced. You can to the prosumer. You can go all there. And what I think would be super cool too is that you can refer everybody to your live streams. To your Friday night. You might end up creating more people and bringing more people into your live streams through your coursework. It's kind of like what I've done with my coursework. I've done some coursework in my practice, and people who watch that tend to then come in and watch my videos, obviously, right? So it's probably gonna help you. But let me go back here. Go back to my main. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, Sly. Yeah, I do too, right? I see a shirt. I see a shirt of my future. I do. That's what we need. We need a whole bunch of. Do you have any shirts, Peter? I mean, come on. You've got CDs. Where are the shirts at? Okay. I'm much more visual rather than logical. I think I'm seeing. Did you say logical? Let me read that again. I am much more visual than logical. My main block is I can't see the title. So the launching point is handicap. Yeah, you're overthinking. You're overthinking it, I think. Yeah. Anything that you put out there is going to be well received. It's very likely because you're legit. You're already legit. You have a main channel, that has a lot of subscribers. You are a legitimate content creator. You know a heck of a lot about this stuff. You're not a newbie, and so I don't think that it's almost like whenever I make a bone-in ribeye, Sly, bone-in ribeye, yeah, bone-in. Actually, tomahawk. When I make a tomahawk ribeye, I love to make those on the grill. Most amazing pieces of meat. In my experience, they're really hard to mess up. They really are. You have to really screw one of those pieces of meat up to make it taste bad because they're just so awesome. Peter, you're like a tomahawk steak. Okay, I think it'd be really hard for you to mess up. I really do. You would have to really screw things up bad, and I just think I don't think you could do that even if you tried. Honestly, that's where I'm kind of thinking a little bit of the overthinking. Getting shirts. Because of Sly, I signed up because of her. Yep, definitely. definitely. Like the university concept, Peter, pay attention. Actually, write that down. Like, that's right, Sly. It's the Peter Gray University, man. You look like, you could represent that kind of university concept. You look like a professor, Peter. Did you know that you look like a professor? You look like a camera professor, I think. Like, or more like kind of a mad scientist, maybe. But you also have that aura, like I said, about you, where when you turn you when you start listening when I start listening to you, when somebody starts listening to you about a camera, you don't go, I don't really think this guy knows what he's talking about. I mean, you don't even have a doubt when you start watching you and you're talking about this stuff. You don't even have a doubt. You just know that this guy's got a lot of wisdom, and I got to listen to this guy, right? So that's where I just think I don't even think you could screw up coursework if you tried, Peter. I really don't. And by the way, beginner, intermediate, advanced, I guarantee you, even people like me, who I'm probably like an intermediate, I think I'm intermediate, low intermediate, I would take that beginner course. I would. From you, I would, because I'm thinking, okay, maybe I need to brush up, or there are things, maybe there are things that I've missed. I'm sure there's stuff that I've missed. And so it'd be good to reconnect with your coursework to kind of lay a healthier foundation. And that's something I see with a lot of creators, and I'm using myself as an example. We went out during the pandemic, and we just went out and got gadgets to get online. But we didn't really do the hard work. We didn't get the basics. We didn't embrace the fundamentals. We just kind of watched everybody, and we bought the stuff, and we got it going. But do we really understand the camera science? Do we need to? That's the other question too. Do we need to? Well, I think it's a lot more fun to understand more of what's going on behind the scenes. I don't need to know as much as you, but I think it would be more fulfilling in creating the content if I did have a little bit more of an idea of what was happening behind the scenes. I really do. So encouraging. Yeah, for sure, Peter. Hey, yeah, that's okay. If you take that as a present, take it as a present, man. So I am going to sign off here, and I think I'm going to do this again tomorrow. I think I'm going to start doing this during the week, because I'm going to start writing out stuff, as like a morning inspirational whatever, and I'm going to write some of that stuff. But I love how this is working. I'm really enjoying my mobile streaming solution here. I'm excited about it. And what else? Anything else, you guys? Just that I'm really thankful today, especially with a lot of stuff that I heard, a lot of the news that's going down today. I just thought, I'm so grateful for where I live. I'm grateful for the people around me. I'm grateful for the hope that I have, that I believe is connected to my faith, that is the biggest gift ever. I'm grateful for my, for the obvious things, that I think it's pretty amazing that we are all going to go to bed tonight in our comfortable beds and our comfortable pillows with full refrigerators, and then we have all these amazing, these fun things that we do, right, with all these gadgets. It's amazing. It's so much to be thankful for. And then I'm just thinking of my peace of mind. I am so grateful for the peace of mind that I have today. That's a huge gratitude. The peace of mind that I'm living in. I didn't always have that peace of mind. So I'm grateful that I'm not restless, and I'm not struggling, and I'm not feeling a desperate need for things. I'm content. At least today I am. I'm really grateful for the deep and meaningful relationships in my life. I'm grateful for the accountability in my life. I'm grateful for the mentors that have come across my life that I've experienced a lot of healing through. I'm grateful for my next breath that I believe is courtesy of God. I'm so grateful for my wife, who's the greatest compliment to my relationship with Christ than anything in the world. Okay, she's amazing. I'm so grateful for her. Grateful for my dog, who's unconditionally loving all the time. She brings me so much joy. I'm so grateful for the work that I do, the calling that I have, and the way that I can give back and serve others. And I'm so thankful that I can it's a privilege to be able to step into people's most vulnerable places and difficult seasons of their life. I am so grateful for that. Lots and lots and lots. I can go on and on. There's so many things to be grateful for, right? Just so, so grateful. Um, yep, it is, It is, Peter. Peace. Wow. So blessed. So, Sly, keep it your bags. You are the bag master. There it is. Sly the bag master. Okay. And thank you guys for jumping on and letting me test this out. It was really helpful, and I'm going to keep working on it. Excited to keep at it. Okay, you guys, have a great rest of the weekend. We'll talk to you guys again soon. See you, Peter. See you, Sly. Appreciate you guys.